And I think worth noting, obviously, summer surf, we're running finals of 20 where possible. This is top 16. Like, to get top 8 in your heat is obviously versus top 10. And there were a few athletes that got that 9th or 10th. As I said, I do acknowledge that a field of 16 is, the less people you've got, the more fair, the more conditions you're going out through. So it's just probably another, part that makes Aussies so unique. But yeah, for like Lizzie Wellborn, very unfortunate, ran into trouble on her ski, and all the girls are sort of coming in. And as I said, that, you know how much it means to these athletes to be, rocking up, how much it means to them. As I said, I got a perfect example right here, right? So as I said, just like feeling for everyone. And two, at the same time, I think that's why it is so special, for the eventual winner is the every round. We had Bivy nearly go out yesterday in the heat. And as I said, he could very well go and win it on Sunday. So as I said, not trying to, say, oh, you missed out, it's more that, hey, we're actually just feeling for you. You obviously had a great summer. Again, assuming my notes are correct, but I believe Piper Harrison also missed out the MVP.
Yeah.
Lucy Derbyshire was one that, had it been a bigger field, like I think she got 10th in her semi. Lily Finardi. So there was, and there's a lot we've missed out. All 32 women that, were in those semis could easily have made the final. So as I said, it's more just a credit of how deep the racing is, how hard it is to even get through these rounds, especially, when the surf's doing what it was doing.
I think as well, it's that sort of, we've harped on about it all year, but the depth of the sport is greater than I think it's been in a long, long time, in that to be in the top 16 Ironman, Ironwomen, even swimming, board paddle, ski paddle, and in the country right now, let's be real, the world, you sort of got to be right on your game and you can't miss a beat. You've got to have a lot of fortune go your way. And so sometimes it does play against you, especially when the surf is up the way it is. So as much as it's a shock, you can sort of, I think you can understand it in part because of how deep the field runs these days.
And I would say rapid fire, just what I observed, Tiani Massey looks fantastic on her home beach, as does Lana Rogers, as does Georgia Miller. As I said, my attention was drifting, but that, and then looking over at the men, Ellie Day just looks cut to bits, but I could list almost, every male name that's still alive, raced incredible. One that just did pop out to me every time I looked, he was pretty much winning a race, and that was Big Papa Pump.
I was going to say, I saw his name so many times in the live heats. I was going to say, I haven't been up there, so I barely watched the live stream, but I've got a feeling that he must be on his game because every live heats he's in, he seems to be just at the top of that field.
Which I do think swim teams, I think he came in maybe third or similar. But, there were a few athletes mentioned. TJ Hendy won his quarter and he had some adversity in the ski. So, to see, and he's trimmed up so much. And you do get the feeling you're like, well, he's kind of on, and the conditions. So, as I said, I haven't prepared notes fully enough to run through every iron heat. But, just those were the sort of quick few that I did see that we're going, well, you're, racing pretty well right now. Kendrick, I think he won, one of his quarters. And as I said, the races were so tight, like even in Max's one, for example, it was kind of like first was through and then 2, 3, 4. Like there's pretty much 11 guys as if they'd just, come out of a wade. That's how tight these heats are. So.
Jeez, you kind of expect it. There were a couple of medals today, a couple of finals, a couple of really interesting ones as well, from what I noticed. We'll get to the under-19 male surf teams because I think that was probably the race of the day and the result of the day with the way it unfolded. But in the under-17 male surf teams, really good to see the youth coming through there from North Curl. They've been the New South Wales junior champs for a few years now, and then Sean Davies is there. He's got a couple of his own kids racing around for North Curl. For them to get a win in that surf teams, it's great to see other clubs up the top end and be that Australian titles. Then as well, Maroochydore, home club, Alexandra Headlands, so the Sunshine Coast going strong. That was for the surf teams. In the board relay, again, another club that it's good to see doing well is Tugan. one of those local Gold Coast clubs. So really good to see Tugan up there and performing well. And look, we know that they've been at the heights of all heights when it was the Hurst brothers and the Hackett brothers and whoever else was in there, Doherty, running around winning Taplin after Taplin. That were followed by Kurrawa and Alex. In the open male surf teams, Northcliffe, they've got a stranglehold on that surf teams between the men and the women. It's such a hard race for anyone to take away from them. Burley Heads in second, Currumbin in third, which that's on the back of some big performances from the Brennan brothers. We know that they're flying the flag, but sort of skipping through results and racing through it, trying to keep it short and sweet. But the under-19 male surf teams, I put something into our little group chat today, and I don't know how much you boys are across it. Did you have a chance to kind of catch that surf team's result and see what it was and how it all happened?
I didn't, mate. Honestly, I was getting ready for the open final. I had a tough heat because, like, obviously I won't talk too much about the open guys, but it was a really tricky course, mate. So I wasn't really looking at the results. I started looking at the start of the race, see where everybody was going, but in terms of basically where they all came in, mate, it was lost on me.
Duff, I will say, I heard there was a count back, and intuitively I said, and I heard it was a sprint. So I've assumed, it's obviously whoever was the first of the two teams, to then be told, no, it's who was the first team, everybody home.
Complete. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's they both teams finished on 31 points. So it was the two teams were the under-19s, Northcliffe and Burley. So both teams finished on 31 points, being a tie and a countback. And I saw the 31 points in live heats and sort of felt, it must be a split, but it was still ranked 1, 2, 3. So then I went, well, what's the rule? I went in and had a look at the little rule book, as you do, and section 4.3.1, section B, the countback rule is it's the first team completely across the line. And so when you go back and look at the results, it would have shifted the result anyway because it would have been 30 points compared to 32, but 14th place was Jake Morris, 15th place was Fletcher Warren. So those boys there were racing for the gold medal in the middle of the field, and that's what it sort of comes down to in those surf teams. And it's one of those funny events. You don't really know what's happening, who's going to win it until 4 hours across the line, or you're sort of sitting there doing the math and you're counting heads. But that one really did come down to a count back, and almost like I'm not going to call it a technicality, but the rule book would have been referred to in that race, no doubt, because I'm not sure there would have been too many officials down there that would have been right across that rule, because I've been involved in surf a long time and I've never heard of the countback rule ever.
You beat me to it because I was exactly the same. I've been in plenty of surf teams and I've never it's so it nearly happens so often. Teams are split by 1 point all the time. I didn't know that was the rule. I would have assumed it was first across the line, like first athlete or first club across the line.
Best result of an athlete.
Yeah. So that's nuts. I bet lots of people don't know that.
Which, speaking of Morris's and surf teams, I'll find the video and share it. Zach Morris's swim start in the surf team's race.
Duff, the Northcliffe boys have like the aerial shot, the drone shot.
Oh my God.
Zach Morris like runs through like 10 or 12 potholes at top speed because everybody else is kind of being careful because it's a little bit all or nothing. Like for those who haven't done open surf teams, it's like, if you give someone an inch, they'll take a mile. If you run in and fall over, you may as well be in 30th.
Bang.
He pins the ears back, runs through these potholes like it's like he's on a treadmill. And he has dead set, I would say, 15 to 20 meters on second before they start swimming. It is one of the best starts I've ever seen in clubbies in my life. So we'll try and get that and clip it up because it's something else, man.
Yeah, we'll find that. We'll clip it up. That's unreal. That's epic. Looks like the program, again, they're just falling behind a little bit. Obviously, the surf conditions are a big factor in that one. But it seems to me like most events are ticking off, and with all the individuals in a good place, we might be able to have a good team-focused day over the next couple of days, and most things are going to run on Sunday and happen as Sunday normally does. Would you say that's probably pretty accurate?
I think that's the plan, mate. I think they'll try and knock out a couple of ski heats pretty early tomorrow, and that'll finalise more or less the men's side of the draw individually. And then, it gives you a good couple of days to knock out. Board relay, ski relay, you can do in an afternoon, and then, it gives plenty of time for board rescues, tube rescues to get knocked over, finalise those double skis. So I think I usually am fairly critical of the 5 days. You never feel like you need it, but I think they've done pretty well here. And if they get this all wrapped up in 5 days, it'll be a pretty good job because, it's been fairly unforgiving.
We want to keep it short and sweet, and what I will tell you, boys, we did manage to get live on YouTube. I had to click a button on the other end. I didn't know, so we lost about the first 3 minutes, but we did manage to jump on live, and I think we hit a grand total of about 3 or 4 viewers throughout. So 10's up, baby, we're going up. But
last one,
finish on something.
10 up. I got here Cruz McKee. He won the surfboard. He won the shortboard. He won the longboard. Now he's into the Open Iron final. I believe he's still under 19. Look on his Instagram. He built a bloody snowboard ramp during COVID. Like, coolest guy in club. He's hands down. Cruz McKee, we hope you get the dub. I would say no Ellie in the board race, which is crazy. Hannah Scully, again, our current, series, wins every race. She's out defending champ in the board. Olivia Corrin's out, which again, just so crazy. Heart really feels for all the athletes. Kai Kinsella missed out in the swim. I believe, as I said, this is just what I saw on live heats, which is crazy considering what we know he can do, what the surf's like. So, as I said, the racing is just so cutthroat. First up tomorrow potentially is, going to be those Open Men's Iron semis. So, it's going to be crazy.
Duff's there, baby. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, Duff's going to be there. So,
yeah, I'm on the ground tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. It's been killing me back at school. I've been trying to teach the future and do a mediocre job at it, but I've been trying to get it all done and try to cross off a few things here. But I think you boys are off to the beach now, aren't you? Go to the beaches and check out Embar.
Yeah, we'll have a look at some sprints. You might head upstairs for a bowl of wedges and some a couple of light refreshments to drown our sorrows. But mate, still good spirits.
You beauty. Well, I'll catch you boys tomorrow, and short and sweet tonight. And I think grand plans for tomorrow. Picked up all the legitimate audio equipment, so we should be back to full firing. And I think we've got a few extra cameras coming in tomorrow as well. So I think we're maybe going to have 3 cameras rolling. It could be a real legit, or it could be nothing at all. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Yeah.
Cool, bro.
Well, I'll catch you boys tomorrow. That's been 10 for. It's been fun. 10's up, baby.
We out.